Why would the judge? Because the question Alera asked was, a man who steals a goat gets 5 years. A man who steals billions gets a fine of
the judiciary is reorganized, the judges can, on their own, if you have stolen plenty money, because stealing is stealing in law. Not when you steal 1 naira, or a person steal 1 million, it's stealing. It's stealing. You know, so section 390 of the criminal code. So when somebody steals a goat and is brought to you as a judge, and in your personal consideration, because they are still human, the judges are human, you feel this man is hungry, well, maybe you can just ask him to clear the court premises and don't commit, this offense again. Then when they bring somebody that has stolen so much money, you should be able to resist temptations. They are tempted. When you bring somebody that has stolen billions to the court,
you want your share.
Sorry to say, they will send messages to the judges, and we've seen instances where, there's one election tribunal matter I had that they were able to print out the account number of one of the presiding, the INEC officer. They printed out a statement of account, and they actually found that shortly before the election, huge lodgements were made. Now, if an individual can find that out, I can find that out too. Why won't EFCC and other people do the same thing? That's why I say you should investigate before arresting. Now, the judge is sorry.
Is EFCC empowered enough to do things like that?
Yes.
Do they have the power?
EFCC can ask any bank to give the account details of anybody, and the bank will give. They have that. So I expect them to always investigate properly before effecting arrest. Because when you investigate, you will know if offenses have been committed or not. And, while encouraging the president to continue his fight against corruption, I want to quickly, recommend that he should also encourage plea bargain. He should also encourage those that have stolen who can willingly come up.
I'm sorry to cut
Sorry, Prof. You will speak.
Okay.
I am a lawyer.
Yeah.
I know that if you allow plea bargain, you would have shortened the lifespan of a case. If you allow plea bargain, you would have reduced the cost of prosecution. If you allow plea bargain, you will even be discouraging corruption, because the alternative, the people that enjoy plea bargain are the rich, so to say. The rich can come and say, oh, please, I have stolen 1 million. Please let me pay X amount to, that make that the judgment of the court. If it is not encouraged, justice requires hearing on both sides, no matter the allegation. And I want to quickly divert a bit, please. The president should note that we are not in a military administration. So while he's fighting corruption, he should know that people have rights. People's liberty should be respected. I am not too happy that the DSS is arresting and detaining people unnecessarily. I'm not happy with that. The law is that within maximum 48 hours, you must take the person to court. That is why it is, I want to encourage the agencies to investigate before arresting. It will not make you detain somebody for too long.
Okay, so, let's get Prof to weigh in on it.
Yes.
So there's a question that
you are talking about plea bargaining. It's a way of encouraging corruption. In this moment, Nigeria, I think there should be no plea bargaining. If I know I'm going to plea bargain, instead of stealing 1 million, I'll
steal 100, then if they catch me, I'll return 1.
And I'll still keep some that we are able to do. The fight against corruption, I believe, and I've still said that, it's an individual thing for Nigerians to do.
Prof, I'm sorry.
Because they are cutting off some of the things.
I'm very sorry. On the plea bargain, some of us, with respect, sir, are not getting it probably right. Plea bargain does not mean that you'll be allowed to go scot-free. Plea bargain does not mean that it doesn't stop the agency that is prosecuting you from recovering all that you've gotten. I'm aware of one ex-governor of one of the instances. What is his name? Was taken to court recently. His properties were recovered. And they were forfeited to the federal government. I'm aware that the state is trying to get the property back because ordinarily it's supposed to be forfeited to the state, not the federal government. Now, I don't want to say this, but I know that the man might go for plea bargain because I have studied that case and I know the EFCC might jail that man. So, but if going to, it doesn't stop the agency from recovering what you have stolen. Okay, let's not encourage others to steal.
Mr. Dane, we have to go.
Talking about
the
judiciary.
1 second.
Okay.
Let's just weigh on this and then close. The Director General of the Bureau of Public Procurement had suggested that the EFCC Act be put aside and use the 2007 Procurement Act, which stipulates a minimum of 10 years for corrupt officials instead of the EFCC and ICPC laws. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you, Prof.
We have to see what is actually obtainable now.
The EFCC law has that one. According to the EFCC, has a minimum of 2-year jail term. Yes. But the Bureau,
each country decide on the current issue now.
This one,
the amount of money they are stealing.
No, I'm saying these ones are laws in Nigeria. The Procurement Act of 2007 stipulates a minimum of 10 years.
We still have to actually come down to what is actually happening
says currently. 2 years.
Yes, how many people
2 years is just too, it's too small.
But the EFCC can actually prosecute under, not necessarily under EFCC Act, they can prosecute under other laws. Okay. So they can also prosecute under this law. The EFCC can prosecute under this law. Okay. The police can prosecute under this law. So we are not in debt of laws in this country. I think the problem is implementation and
enforcing those laws.
In closing, let's begin with you, Bisi.
Well, what I need to say is that fixing Nigeria begins with each individual. And I belong to one organization, we're called the Bureau Culture. And what we're doing actually is we're changing people's mindset and we're going out there trying to instill the principles of integrity in service, principles of honesty and respect for ethics. That's all we need. Let our government be serious about ethics and ensure that every project, every program has the A to Z of how to do it. That's what they do. We need to think at the beginning of every activity that we want to do to say these are the routes and everybody must follow that route. That is the way that a government needs to rule. And like you said about you don't like the DSS arresting people, I need to let you know that
detaining people
too long. You need to understand that it's not the government.
Awaiting trial.
Yes, it's all.
You need to know that it's not Buhari. People are overzealous, right? It will be people there that are doing what they're doing. And also, talking about that, we're a young democracy. We're a young democracy. We really need a malevolent dictator. We don't need full democracy right now. Because if we do, we will not be able to achieve what we need to achieve.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Your closing statement.
Please. While fighting corruption, we must respect people's rights. This is very, very important. If you want, we can still achieve by being democratic in the sense that if you investigate before pursuing the person, it will reduce the number of days or time you will detain that person.
All right,
but what they do is that they arrest.
Tony, we have to run.
Thank you.
The law is made for everybody.
Yes.
Nobody is above the law.
Exactly.
It's not because you are this, you are that. When you go against the law, you have to face it squarely.
Thank you very much. We've been looking at the fight against corruption, and we had Professor Femi Ajayi of Babcock University. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bisi Akin-Alabi is a patriotic Nigerian. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And Mr. Tony Daniel, legal practitioner. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back for another segment. Please don't go away.